We are here in the race shop to give you an update on Moby Dick, which you can see here behind me. It has been a crazy 2 weeks. We debuted the car 2 weeks ago. We pretty much got the car in, changed all the fluids, just took it straight to the track just to see what it would do. Car was wildly inconsistent. And for our goal, which is bracket racing, the goal is actually consistency, not necessarily going fast. And we had about a 10th variance from run to run, which is not good. Motor made good power. Car's heavy. With Jason in it, it weighed 3,650 pounds. Makes the car weigh about 3,500 with no driver in it. And so we got back and we had a couple of spare motors that were in one of our other bracket cars, the wagon. And it had been a while, almost 2 years, since we'd pulled them out and just hadn't thought about the number of runs. One of them had 800 runs on it. And so what we thought was just going to be bearings. We're just going to do a little bit more. So that engine's going to get a total rebuild and we'll set it in the corner for whenever the wagon needs its refresh. We'll just drop that motor back in. We had another motor that was a little bit slower that had been used a while back. And what we did not know is at the time that we stopped using it, it actually had pushed some of the head gasket out and had water inside it, which made one of the cylinders a little nasty. So now it's at the shop getting tuned up and we'll get it back together to sit over to the side. So it brings us back to the motor that's sitting in Moby Dick. We were getting ready to pull. We haven't been able to get all the information on the motor from the previous owner. So we were just going to go ahead and start going into the motor and see what we got. And when my nephew started and pulled the carburetor off yesterday, they realized this thing was jetted. It has the same jets in it that our 530 Roadster has in it. This thing runs 17s, not 530s. So with alcohol, you get way more leeway if you're jetted too heavy. Unlike with gasoline, if it would have been jetted that heavy, you would have fouled the plugs and everything else. So we've already ordered a new rear end for it. The Ford is coming out. Dana's going to go into it. But for right now, even though that'll be in the next day or two, we actually have an opportunity to test tonight. So what we're going to do is throw the car back together, take the carburetor off of our Volare wagon, which is a very similar setup to this, and put it on and just see what it does. See if we know that carburetor works, we know it's very consistent. We're going to put it on this and see what happens, just to get some more data points. And that was the main reason why I really wanted to do this car and this build in the first place. I feel like this is a build that regardless of whether you're using a B body or if you use an F body and you're kind of in similar weight area, you would know what to expect from whatever your platform is based on the numbers that we have. And so we'll make all types of adjustments and share that info so that if you're going to make a street strip type car, you'll know how fast you'll go and what type of power it takes and all that stuff. And honestly, look at it. It's just a cool car. It's a Chrysler 300. So there will be updates tonight. We're going to do some videos. It will be an unprepped surface, which doesn't really matter for this thing given the weight and the ETs that we'll be running. So stay tuned later today. We're hoping to get to the track about 5. I think we can start running at 6 by tonight. Hopefully we have some updates on whether or not we'll actually end up using the combination that's in this car. So one of the things is if we do end up using it, we're going to have to change the gear that we have in the Dana. This is a hydraulic cam motor. We do not want to be running a 456 and increase the RPM levels up on that platform. So a whole lot of typical last minute racer stuff that normally happens. And remind you, I haven't been in a car in 15 years. And the goal is to run at the end of this month in a $20,000 to win race that'll have all the heavy hitters from all over the country there. And I'm going to be the biggest duck there, but I can promise you I'll have more fun than just about anybody. So more updates coming soon.